All right, well, we finally got, as of right now, we're at about 2.1-ish inches of rain in the last 2 days. Much needed. But since we got rain and I really can't do anything, I finally got time to make a video on the new barn. After getting annoyed left and right on like the last 6 or 7 videos, because dealing with people is like dealing with a bunch of 5-year-olds on a road trip. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? I swear to God, I'm gonna turn this car around. No patience whatsoever. So, but like I say, I'm to a point where I can take a break, and I've obviously been moving some stuff over here. It's been trickling in slowly. The white was actually the first thing to come over here. That came over here the day the barn was finished, right? Yeah, pretty sure it was the day the barn was, either the day it was finished or the day after it was finished. The white came over here. So yeah, I guess we can look at the outside. I haven't had a chance to really do much to it yet, obviously, because I've been worried about trying to get done spraying and finish up spreading fertilizer and get ready for wheat and yada yada yada. So they tore the hell out of the yard. They came in here, they dropped off I'm guessing it was about a 8 to 10,000 pound cat telehandler on hard rubber tires, and oh boy did it cut the yard up. But I kind of expected it. So my boss, not my boss, one of the guys I rent ground from lives right around the corner. He's got a 50 horse LS and a 6-foot rototiller. And when I finally get caught up and we can start actually working on finishing up this project, he's gonna come over here and rototill the yard for me, because I figured that a tiller is gonna work a whole lot better than anything I got, as far as getting the sod worked in and leaving it level and making it fluffy enough that I can drag an I-beam or something over it and level it back out before I seed it back to grass. So and the plan, I got some, I don't even know what to call it. One of Shelly's friends gave it to her. It's not a geotextile. It's almost, it feels like a tarp type material, but it's meant for like landscaping. It's black. Going to put some of that out, probably 2.5 feet or so, something like that, and staple it at the seam and kind of tuck it up under the bottom rat board. And first thing I'll probably do is bring a little bit of dirt and kind of build it up to roughly the bottom of the rat board, and then tuck that, or get that stuff laid down and kind of tuck it up under and run it out and staple it to the side. And then I'd like to use limestone just because it looks better, but limestone right now is unobtainium due to supply chain issues. I can get slag, but I don't really like slag for, like, I guess you'd call this landscaping. I thought about some pea gravel. I wish I had a bunch of field stone, but I don't have enough to do all the way around. I definitely don't have enough to do all the way around the barn. So I haven't decided what I want to use for stone yet, but I'm going to stone all the way around the barn, out like 2 foot or so. That way anything running, because I didn't get gutters, so anything running down or falling off the roof will have stone to hit and it won't wash the sand out. Then I got this big pile of topsoil. This is what all got pushed out when they stripped the topsoil to haul sand in for the foundation. Some of that is going to go along this edge to kind of taper this back, but I'm not going to get too carried away bringing in a bunch of sand or bringing in a bunch of fill and making this level out, because when I get to start putting lean-to on here, it doesn't make any sense to put a bunch of dirt in, just turn around and dig it all right back out. So I'm basically just going to smooth this out and taper it just enough to where you can mow it decent, and that'll be the end of that. So and all this is going to have to get rototilled too and seeded back to grass. I took two things I am incredibly glad of that they talked me into. One is that skylight along the wall. I almost wish I'd have put it down both sides, because it really didn't cost jack squat. But on the other hand, that side's all blocked by trees, so I don't know how much it would have done. And you can come out here at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and even with the sun on that side of the barn, it's still light in there. So it really doesn't get dark inside the barn until it's dark outside, which is kind of impressive. So I'm glad for the skylight, and I'm glad that they talked me into going a full 16 foot on the doors, because I was originally intended on 15 foot. And that extra foot, like, it's so nice to just be able to jump in the combine and drive through the door and not have to worry about if the screen's up or if I'm going to smack the cab or anything like that. You just drive through the door. And odds of me ever getting anything taller than the 8700 are slim to none, but even at that, it's just the 8700, you just drive in the door. And if you get, that's 13 foot tall, so I still got 3 foot above it. So if I ended up, if one day I ever ended up with a 9700, which I'd like one someday, that would probably be taller than an 8700, maybe not by much. But either way, even if I got a bigger combine, it still fit through the door. The only thing that I didn't do that I wish I would have done is I almost wish I would have put a couple windows in both sides, because it's just like, it's just a big red rectangle. At least windows would have broke it up a little bit, but I can always come back in and frame in some windows later. That's no big deal. We got the barn up. That was a big thing, and they did it. I cannot believe how fast they got this damn thing up. They started on a Monday. I think Shelly said they got here at 8. They worked till 11 and got rained out, so they worked 3 hours on Monday, came back Tuesday, got here at 8, and worked until 2, right? Because they worked 5 hours. Yeah. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So no, they worked 6 hours. So they got this whole barn starting with a flat slab, no post holes, no nothing. They got this entire barn up in 9 hours, from starting with just a grade to all the way up, doors on, frame, everything. 9 hours. They were lickety split. They could have had it. I guarantee you, if they hadn't got rained out, they would have had this thing up in a day. I think a bird's been trapped in here, because that mud was not on the wall the other day. I wonder if a bird got trapped in here and was flying into that wall. Anyway, the only thing that I thought was kind of hokey, and it's easy enough to fix, and they left me a crap ton of extra shit, so I don't even got to buy anything to fix it. I can just use the stuff that came with the barn. Was it would have been nice if they would have put another beam just between that post and that post to tie in the post for the door. It's nailed in at the bottom and all the girts all the way up to this one right here, it's all nailed in, so it ain't like it's going to go anywhere. It just would have been, I guess, to give it a little extra strength, it would have been nice if they had capped it with like a 4x4 or something. But I got spare lumber, and with what they left here, I got we'll walk over to the corn crib and I'll show you. I got a bunch of spare shit. So I'm probably gonna put something across there just to give that post some added support up top. But other than that, that's really the only thing I saw that I thought was a little hokey. Everything else, I mean, there's gonna be guys that get into comments, well, I'd have done it this way, well, I'd have done it this way, well, I'd have done this, well, I'd have done that. Well, I don't care what you would have done. I did what I could afford. I needed 4 walls and a roof, and I needed it cheap, and I needed it fast, and that's what I got. And for what I paid and how quick they put it up, and with the amount of lumber that they threw at it, because they probably used half again as much lumber as as the most expensive quotes I was getting. So I'm not complaining. I got exactly what I wanted. Well, not gonna say it. I didn't get exactly what I wanted. I could have threw another $30,000 at it and got exactly what I wanted. I just didn't have another $30,000 to throw at it. So, yeah. About the only thing that's really annoying right now is the center catches for the sliders, but that's won't be as much of an issue later, because I was hoping to have it done by now, but the guy's gonna do it's been busier than hell, and frankly, until I get wheat cut and have some more cash flow, I'm not overly excited about getting it. Or I shouldn't say excited. I'm not overly in a hurry to get it done. I'm going to put asphalt millings in it for a floor to get rid of the damn sand, because dealing with the barn that we came out of, having a dirt floor, to go into this one with a dirt floor, I don't want a dirt floor. Don't want a dirt floor. Don't need concrete. Just want something that's not going to get super duper dusty. You're not going to, like right now, my boots are wet and they're sticking full of sand, so I'm going to track it in the house and track it in my truck and everywhere. I don't want that. I just want a nice hard, and then like the planter's heavy enough, it still sinks coming in here and stuff, which, I mean, you get the floor packed down, that'll eventually quit, but asphalt millings are going to be the cheapest route with the way materials are right now. I don't want crushed concrete, because crushed concrete, they never screen the shit good enough, and you always end up with hunks of wire and crap and shit going in tires. Asphalt millings ain't gonna have any of that because it's asphalt. So that's kind of also why I've been dragging my feet getting stuff brought over here. Well, A, I haven't had time, and B, I was hoping to, I was thinking I was going to have it done in a timely fashion, but everything didn't pan out. So now I've been bringing over a piece a day. The 525 just showed up today. So, and then eventually, possibly next year, I want to drive in and out and get stuff packed in, and so we're not working with complete 100% virgin fill. What's probably going to end up happening is I'm going to come in just inside the door here and put concrete apron / approaches on either end of it, and then that will encase all this in concrete obviously up to here, because you can't go all the way because the door's got a hook on that. But put concrete approaches on it, that way the doors have something, and when you do that, it'll actually end up, you'll pour your concrete and it'll kind of come up and end up at this level. That way the doors have something to buck up against. So then you can drive up over this no problem, because it's going to have concrete right here for you to jump up on top of, so you're not going to hurt it. Right now you got to be careful with it, because you drive up over it, you might bend it. But that's out a little ways. Like I say, I can't afford concrete right now, because as of 2 weeks ago, it was $175 a yard, and 5 yard minimum. I think was what, because Paul Lee, the guy that was helping, or the guy at that field that is cleaned off, he works for a concrete company driving concrete truck, and we were talking to him, and it was $175 a yard, 5-yard minimum, and price has been going up about every week to 2 weeks, depending on limestone, basically, because they haven't been able to get limestone. So A, can't really afford concrete right now, even if I wanted to, and B, this all needs to be packed down so it's not virgin fill, so that's why we're holding off on that. But for now, the asphalt millings will go out the door to give you something solid to drive in and out of. And then one of this fall's projects, if things play out right, we'll have to see, because it kind of hinges. I'd like to get some power run out here, at least something basic, so I got some outlets and some lights in case I need a battery charger or something out here for whatever. But I don't want to tie it into the house, because the house is only 100 amp service. I want to upgrade the house to a 200 amp service, and I want to drop in an H-frame and upgrade all of my outdoor electrical crap and run a new hot wire to the barn, a new hot wire to the house, and a hot wire out here. But I don't know if anybody's seen the price of burial rated wire and all that crap right now. Oh boy. Dad went to Lowe's right after we got this, or right after this got put up, and was looking at, I think he was looking at 12.3. Pretty sure he's looking at 12.3. And to get from where get from the house to here was going to be $435 just for the wire. That was no panel, that was no framing, that was no breaker box, that was no nothing. That was just wire, $435 to get from the house to here. So, and with everything and it doesn't make any sense, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do it unless I can get it all done and have everything tore up one time, get it all done, and then be done with it, instead of tearing it up 2 or 3 times to piecemeal it together. So anyway, and it's looking like everything's going to fit fairly decent. There's still going to be a certain amount of shed Tetris, but not everything that was in the other barn is going to go in here. Some stuff is going to go, and some of the smaller stuff is going to go in the big barn. I guess that can't be the big barn anymore because this one's bigger. I don't know. I guess in my mind, that's always going to be the big barn. The bank barn. The manure spreader is going to live out here from now on, because I want to be able to get to it easier when I want to use it. Actually, this thing got drug out for our 4th of July parade, and because it's got a job. We had to go clean out Shelly's horse arena at some point, so I got to get this over to Mom and Dad's and do some fixing on it. Just take care of all the problems that we found using it last summer. So we'll have some more manure spreading to go with here, hopefully in 2-3 weeks after we get wheat cut. So you'll have that going for you. And actually, probably here this weekend, you're going to see we got a new field project coming. I'm not going to give any details, but probably Friday, I'm guessing probably Saturday, because Friday's supposed to rain. Got to go start working on a new field, so at Shelly's mom's house. So you'll get more details on that and what's going on with it at a later date. But back to this thing, or back to what we're going on here. So the manure spreader stayed in here. The 7300s obviously got to come over here. Kind of my intent from the moment I was thinking about this barn is all 3 combines are going to sit here on the south end, The 525 and the 7300 are going to sit on either side, and the 8700 is going to sit in the center. There should be enough room that I can sneak the 525 over this way a little bit and set my corn picker pieces along the wall here. I'm not too worried about keeping the doorway open because, like I say, the only thing that I ever intended to go on this side was the combines. That's why that door got put there, is so that I could drive the combines in and out this way, and everything else is going to be turned around and go out that door. So 525, the 7300 and the 8700 are going to sit here. Hopefully the corn picker will go along that wall, and I'm thinking the shelling cage, or not the shelling cage, the husking bed can sit like there along, or there along that wall. And then everything else, I'm hoping the planter, because the 525, at least for the time being, is going to kind of be a barn queen. The planter will be spun around, and I'm going to back it in against this wall, against the 525. And then I'll just have to see what I can fit in front of it here. The white, that's not going to be its permanent home. I'm hoping everything fits to where I can just drive that straight, or back it or whatever, straight in the door and back stuff in along that wall. Because really the only other things that got to go in here, other than what's in here right now, because the 1950T is going to go back to Mom and Dad's. The Super 55 is probably going to live here permanent, so I got something decent sized to move stuff around with, and I just need a tractor over here in general. And so it's either going to be the Super 55 is going to live over here permanent, or my 66 is coming over here permanent. I haven't decided which one yet. So that's going to stay here. So the only things, and the Cub is going to go back in the big barn. I've just been using it to move stuff around too, so that's why it's in here. So the only other things that got to come over here and are going in this barn as of right now, the baler, the grain cart, 2 more drills, and I think the hay rake might have to go in here for now, because it's not going to fit up there. Because up there, I'm going to put the crimper, the sickle bar mower, the 2-way plow. My little sprayer is going to go back in there. What I'm trying to think of what else is over there. There's honestly not that much. The 18 combine is probably going to sit. It's probably going to live outside for now. I'm thinking we'll have to see what we got for room. See how everything stacks up in here, but I'm thinking it's going to have to live outside for now, which if it's got to live outside, this is going to be a lot better spot because I don't have to park it under trees. And then I got that other goofball Oliver planter that I picked up. That's going to go somewhere. That's small, so it should be fairly easy to find a home for it. I think that's it. We got a couple parts plows that just they don't need to go inside. They can sit outside. Or is there only one parts plow? There might only be one. I think there's one Plowmaster that's a parts plow. That can sit outside. I'm probably going to get our 57 Cub going, because I can put the little disc, I can put the disc on. We got a fast hitch disc for it, and I could use that and my Cub to fix the yard. So that's gonna come over here. There's really not that much more. And then should be able to have, or should have enough room left. Like I say, let's see, everything stacks in there. Should have enough room that I can take the Oliver flare box wagon and set it inside the David Bradley barge wagon so that they're stacked, and back those in here too somewhere. But like I say, this is all playing out in my head right now. So what looks like it's going to happen and what actually happens are two different things, but there's still a fair old amount of room in here once the cub's gone and the tee's gone and the planter's actually backed over where it's going to actually go. So we got room to play with. I can't even begin to describe how much nicer it is just having a barn in my backyard. Like, it's just, like, this is the greatest feeling in the world. I can't even describe it. When I had to write the last check to pay it off, that was a terrible feeling. But once we got over that hump, it was back to a good feeling again. So anyhow, yeah, everybody wanted to see the new barn. This is it. Patience is a virtue. Some of you people need to learn it. And then I got a, I think it's a 36-inch buzzsaw blade. However big the blade was that I took off the buzzsaw that I scrapped when we were moving out of the other barn. I got that, and I'm gonna get it painted up, or get it sandblasted and painted up, and put something on there, and hang it up there in the peak for decoration. And I thought about seeing if I can come up with a barn quilt to put up on the other peak, just to dress it up a little bit. 'Cause like I say, it's without any windows in it, it's just kind of a big red box. I really wish I could have, I can't talk. I really wish I could have afforded, is that right? That's gotta be right. I wish I could have afforded, to put a cupola or two on it, just to dress it up. They're pointless for a storage shed, but they made it look cool. But that was gonna be $2,500 a piece to add those, I think. So anyhow, I guess that's really all I got to talk about. Everybody wanted to see it. This is it. It's a big red box with stuff in it. But it's my big red box with my stuff in it. Can't get kicked out of this one unless I lose the farm. Which, I mean, there's always that possibility. Especially the way things are going. You will own nothing and you will be happy. But until that point comes, pretty sure I covered it all. Oh, I was gonna go show you all the extra crap I got with it. I gotta mosey up here to the corn crib. I need to get these stumps sawed off. And hopefully we need to get the damn stump grinder fixed so I can saw these things off and grind them off. And Shelly wants a garden for next year, so I think we might end up putting a garden. I mean, this seems like a, I was trying to think, because it kind of came up today and I was thinking about it. It's like, well, the best place that I had to put a garden is where that damn barn is now, just because the soil was so dark, and that it was good dirt there, because that used to be this area right here used to be a hog run. They ran hogs out of that shed and they ran them out in here, so you got years and years and years of hog manure build up. And when they cut the hole to haul sand in, he was down 12 inches stripping topsoil, and he didn't hit the bottom yet. So topsoil there's at least 12 inches deep. My guess is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 24 inches deep, if not a little deeper. But anyway, that was the best spot. Well, I can't put it there anymore. So I was kind of thinking, if I get these stumps out of here, this is a fairly level spot, and that apple tree is pretty much dead. Every year it comes back a little bit less, so that's gonna go. And then this right here would be a nice spot to put a garden, because it's got full sun and it's far enough away from everything that the critters should leave it alone for the most part. If nothing else, it'd probably look cool, or probably look nice if I made like a white picket fence around it or something, just to dress it up a little bit. But anyway, back to what I squirreled there for a minute. So I got that's a 24-foot 2x6. That's a whole 2x6. I got all the drops there. All this yellow pine that looks new, that is all left. A lot of those are 8 foot and longer. There's some barn tin here. So there's some spare chunks of soffit. That's a piece of red tin. That's green roof tin. There's a couple extra pieces of that polycarbonate. And then there's a bunch of J-channel and fascia and all sorts of crap that they left up here in the rafters. I got a whole bucket of tins of black. Why they had black sheet metal screws, I don't know, because there's nothing black on the barn. But I had black sheet metal screws, red sheet metal screws, white sheet metal screws, and green sheet metal screws. Like I took a 5-gallon bucket and filled it halfway, so there's probably damn near enough screws to build that barn again. And then I got what I think is a full height piece of red barn tin. That's just more of the J-channel and everything. They left a lot of crap. So I got spare parts for days. So anyway, there she be. Everybody can finally quit asking me about it. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. It was just enough people that it kept getting annoying. It's like the 2105. Everybody keeps asking, or a bunch of people keep asking me about. If I'd done anything or was planning to do anything with the 2105, you'd have probably heard about it or seen it by now. Which, to answer that question, no, I'm not planning on doing anything with the 2105 here in the near future. I think I do have a combine located that has the right turbocharged engine for it. But until we get through this cash slump of paying for that son of a bitch, I ain't planning on doing anything with it. Possibly this winter, but I'm torn between working on... I'm torn between cutting the projects for this winter and saving money and just dealing with what I got and working on some stuff. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I have to see how this fall goes. Because I really would like to get our Super 77 diesel going too. That thing's been sitting around for a long time, and I'd really, really want to get that going. Because I think it'd be cool. But anyway, that's the barn video. I think I covered everything. So, except for somebody's asked me the dimensions. 40 by 64 by 16. There's your dimensions. If I had my way, I'd build an 80 by 200, but can't afford that. So I did what I could swing. and built it in such a way that there's room for expansion. So there'll be a 20-foot lean-to off of both sides, and then it can come out 32 feet without getting into the power line, and then you can come back out 32 feet with both your lean-tos. So eventually it would be, what would that make it? 64, 32, 96 by 80. So anyhow, I'm about ready to call it a day. So I guess that's it for this one, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.